Yeah, some of the Kibaki colleagues that I've talked to during my time of writing books say that he could be a pretender at times. He had a way of appearing innocent. In reality, he's actually issued instructions. so
taking that on face value would be a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, of a stretch.
Yeah.
They even say that at the time when he was sickly, he was very firm and very, articulate while chairing cabinet. So there are two faces to Kibaki. But what I've never understood is what he did to the Bomas constitution. We spent months and weeks at Bomas, and we had one of the most beautiful katibas at that time. Why he changed his mind to dump it is difficult to understand. So he threw a country into chaos over some interests that are of no value. So he's open to say that he had a weakness of serving a clique of the elite that belonged to his
the famous Muthaiga
Club. so according to them, the people who are pulling the strings and running the show.
I read the Mudhaura interview. I also listened to him on TV, and also there was Macharia Gaitho, who was also instrumental around that period. And what struck me is that they tried to justify Kibaki reneging on what you might call the power sharing agreement of 2003. Because they were saying he still appointed people from that other side. What they don't seem to appreciate is that he appointed the wrong people, not the ones that this other side had presented. And to them, if you're supposed to present somebody from KANU or from LDP, whatever other party, it's not LDP to bring that person. It is you to handpick.
Yeah.
Or if you're supposed to achieve some ethnic balance, which of course in Kenya is a must, it is for you to decide who to pick. And yes, constitutionally you have the power. But Kibaki, during all those negotiations, had told them, "I'm a man of my word." But the moment he was in office, he simply refused to do what he had pledged to do, and I think that's a very bad sign, because it is the one who set the stage.
Right. There's pictures there of the Macharia is the former police commissioner Mohammed
Ali.
Yeah, Ali is there checking in. Those are live pictures. We'll go back to that, but please go back to your story at your point.
So he said, "I'm a man of my word." The moment he reneged on that word, it set the foundation for everything else that came to rock his leadership.
Right. Actually, if you read the Seasons of Hope, the memoir of David Musila, he didn't just betray them once.
It was consistent.
Yes. The people he had betrayed like 4 times. The people that he named the cabinet, some of them were like Shebi Kelimo, who are not even members of the coalition. They are strangers. Just like saying, Macharia and Gor Mahia, they're going to name Gor Mahia people, then you bring AFC Leopards. And then you say that they are still Kenyans.
Yeah.
So it was a very bad trait, actually very dangerous for this country.
So for me, there's two things here. There's the political questions and the problems that sort of were instituted with the political intrigues at the time that became very problematic and to manage in between. So we have all these things coming from that 2002, 2003 moment. Obviously, kicking out KANU was the big thing that everyone agreed on.
Yeah.
But obviously, everyone did not agree on how to manage things moving forward, right?
Because imagine, when KANU left the stage, we were almost entering into an era of a tribeless country.
That was the idea.
Yes. People are ready to forget tribe. People are ready to move on as one country. But then suddenly again, it was now a few individuals who could speak his language, either economically or from the mountain. And the people you talk to tell you that whatever he did in terms of economics becomes almost unnoticeable when you look at what we went through in 2007, 2007. Because we actually went into civil war, no matter how briefly it was.
Right.
But
Did we somehow recover in the second term? Would you say, the Grand Coalition? So the mistakes have happened, problems have happened. Did we somehow recover? Do you think we recovered in those 5 years?
Yes and no. Actually, talking about 2007, because I also happen to have been in the center of covering those elections at the KICC. And having worked with the public broadcaster then, it got to a time when everyone else was told to leave, and only KBC was told to remain. There were very anxious moments for us. I didn't know that we would come out of that. Actually, it was a very frightening moment. And I've always remembered that even when the announcements were done, they were not live. We recorded the announcement of the winner.
This is Samuel Kivuitu?
Kivuitu's office.
KICC.
Yes, KICC. Yeah. Went upstairs with one cameraman who did a recording, and the tape was physically guarded and carried to Broadcasting House for it to be played back. And it's interesting that when this tape got to KBC, the late, he passed on recently, this gentleman, he just came back again on TV. He was the newscaster, and when he was told these are the announcements, you need to make them, he said, I will not do it. Once I get to my house in Biafra, I'll find my wife and my house has been burned down, So he said, I will not read that news. Somebody else did that. And it's interesting that the moment the results were announced, hell broke loose, spontaneous, so we were thrown off into all that melee and everything that happened. So really, it was a very difficult time. We didn't know who to blame or what to say or what went wrong where. But again, like you say, we went into a short civil war, and yet we had thought we had now moved on to being one people. So there were very anxious moments, and probably that's one of the periods that brought down the late president's legacy for a short time while he took the second part of ruling this country.
I think what I can say is that the Grand Coalition obviously settled things and helped save Kenya, and also provided room for Kibaki to proceed with his development agenda. And I think for that, he deserves great credit, because not many people know that without his own personal decisions, that would not have happened. There were many hardliners around him who did not want any negotiations or any settlement. They are thinking that we now have power, we can do what we want. And it took Kibaki to tell them, Kenya is more important than me being president or anything else. And he was very willing to accommodate Raila in many ways, but a lot of people were throughout, particularly in the first few months of that coalition, within government, doing everything they could to frustrate the prime minister from working. And some of those people can be so petty. One thing I remember is when they assembled on the steps of Harambee House with Kofi Annan, when Annan said, we have a deal. And then Kibaki spoke. Then Raila was coming to speak from the same podium. The speed with which some fellows moved to remove that podium so that Raila does not speak from it. It was amazing that for some people it is so important that the president's podium is not shared by
anyone else.
Another person.
Yeah.
And just how petty really can people? Kibaki looked even shocked, because to his credit, he is not a person who is so hungry over such things, or so obsessed over these things. He's very easygoing by nature. Even he looked shocked